Howdy folks, welcome to Dollar Country episode 134. I'm Frank the Drifter. Dollar Country, of course, is the show where I play all the forgotten tunes from America's dollar bins or just America's dusty bins in general. To be honest, I don't find a lot of really awesome stuff in the dollar bins anymore. I wish I did. The dollar bins are getting harder to find. So we started off the show this week with the Miller Brothers with Back Roads on 4-Star Records from 1959. The Miller Brothers are actually kind of new to me, although they did have quite a few recordings and were a pretty big deal back in the day. This one's on 4-Star, which is a well-known label. Three brothers from Texas ran this band. I believe they started in the early 40s. Then they took a break during World War II due to service and went through, I think, the mid-60s or so. Later on, they were based out of Wichita Falls, Texas, and they were a pretty big deal, pretty big Western swing band around the south-ish area, from what I was reading. After that was Raleigh Weber with Painting the Town on Tally Records. This one is from 1962, and that is a Pacific Northwest dude, Raleigh Weber. I looked up some of his other stuff, and this one seems to be the easiest one to find. Some of his other stuff is incredibly rare. I'd love to find it. It looks cool. But yeah, he was a Pacific Northwest dude. Actually played with Buck Owens. Before Buck Owens made it big with the Bakersfield sound, he was up in the Pacific Northwest for just a little bit and had some bands, and Raleigh Weber was in one of his bands up there. So that's kind of cool. After that was Coleman O'Neill with Have a Laugh on Me on Pedal Records from 1965. I like that one. I thought he kind of had a real Ernest Tubb sound to his voice. Then we had Gene and Martha Burns with Wonder Who on Camaro from 1971. I have another one by them too, also on Camaro. If you've listened to the show for a long time, you've heard Camaro. Camaro was a record label run by a fella named Style Wooten out of Memphis, who was kind of a taste maker or a taste selector. A lot of the stuff he released on multiple different labels had a very certain sound, but you can kind of call it the Style Wooten sound, which I personally enjoy. And after that was Dick Miller with Cigarettes and Coffee Blues on Pageant Records from 1965 out of Juneau, Wisconsin. That song, I played it on the show before. I played Lefty Frizzell's version. It's a famous version, and it was written by Marty Robbins as well. And that last one was Playboy by Danny Ferguson on Storm Records. And I could not find the first thing out about that one. There's something else on Storm Records from the mid-60s, I think. So I think this one is from the mid-60s, but sometimes you just can't tell. So let's see. Dollar Country is run completely by donations and a little bit of merch sales. If you are interested in donating to the show, you can find out more information at the Patreon website, patreon.com/dollarcountry. Every donation is a big help. So yeah, check that out if that's your sort of thing. You can find me on the social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Dollar Country, all one word. The website is dollarcountry.org, and you can email me directly at host@dollarcountry.org for any questions, concerns, or criticisms, chat country, or to just tell me about a cool dream you had, really whatever you want. I'll probably read it and get back to you. I love hearing from fans, so that's how you get a hold of me if you want to do that. Coming up next, we have Betty Lee on Cardinal Records with the song When from 1964.
say you love me again, but when I can still recall the used to be. Every day meant happiness for me. I can't help but pray that you'll come back again. But
Hello, pillow. You look as lonesome as I. Guess we both feel the same since she said goodbye. Hello, pillow. Dressed up your case of wine. Oh, I know how much you miss her face tonight. One day everything was so wonderful, but the next day nothing seemed the same. My precious wife, my very life, was gone before the morning came. Good night, pillow. Yes, I still miss her so much. Lucky you, lucky pillow. You were last to know her touch. One day everything was so wonderful, and the next day nothing seemed the same. My precious wife, oh my very life, was gone before the morning came. Good night, pillow. Yes, I still miss her so much. Lucky you, lucky pillow, you were last to know her touch.
Standing on the sideline, watching
watch you walking hand in hand with a new love you have found. Just the way you walked with me before you let me down. Your new love thinks the world is his, and for a while I guess it is. But how long will it be before he's left alone like me? Standing on the sideline, watching you walk by. Standing on the sideline with a tear in his eye, watching you and your new love as you walk slowly by, standing on the sideline with a teardrop in his eye. Standing on the sideline, watching you walk by. Standing on the sideline with a tear in his eye, watching you and your new love as you walk slowly by, standing on the sideline with a teardrop in his eye.
Standing on the sideline, watching you walk by.
Riding down the highway on an early Sunday morn, sight I saw made me wish I'd never been born. There was just a lad who couldn't be more than 10 years old. Suitcase that he carried, such a heavy load. And I passed right on by him as he turned to hail a ride. A look up on his face told of the troubles deep inside. Stopped the car and motioned for him to come along. The story that he told me I wrote down within this song. His father was a drunkard and his mom could not be found. So he packed up his little suitcase, he headed out of town. He told me this sad story, the tears ran down his face. He said, I'd rather leave, sir, than face all this disgrace. Then I led him out where 21 meets Highway 409. As I settled back behind the wheel, thoughts raced through my mind. The young lad I knew years ago traveled this same way. I'm the lad that's grown into the man who sings this song today. Riding down the highway on an early Sunday morning, sight I saw made me wish I'd never been born. There was just a lad who couldn't be more than 10 years old. Suitcase that he carried, such a heavy load.
Diner along the road, or a trucker to stop while hauling low. Coffee and love is what